Hey guys, welcome back, Laser here, and this will be our final part of the Sengoku Astray build log. Well, it started off as the Sengoku Astray, but it didn't finish off as the Sengoku Astray, and I'm gonna walk you through some of the problems I ran into, some of the things I did right, and some of the things I did wrong, if you're interested in building your model kit as well. Keep in mind, this was only my second model kit ever built, but it kinda turned into my third, and I'll explain why that is. So first things first, I completely trashed, this is not my first Sengoku, I completely trashed my first Sengoku Astray. And when I mean completely trashed, I mean absolutely fucked up and unsalvageable. How did I achieve this great result? Well, lack of knowledge. In all honesty, lack of knowledge, and I didn't pay enough attention to certain things. So let me show you exactly what happened, or rather what was left of my poor initial Sengoku. This was sadly all there's left. All the parts, or 90% of the parts, turned brittle and broke like all hell. How did I achieve this? I wasn't careful with lacquer-based paint. This is very dangerous, and I'll explain why that is. And I wasn't careful with paint remover as well. I guess, though I think I applied it correctly. So what happened is basically I finished up the model, finished all the panel lining, finished all the decals, finished all the stickers and everything, and all I needed to do is varnish or apply the top coat. When doing that, I chose a Tamiya T65 Pearl Clear. This is it. And don't worry, it's not the spray's fault. It's my fault, and I'll explain why that is. Now, when dealing with lacquer-based paints like this one, you need to be extremely careful on how you apply it. Ideally, you want to prime first, which I didn't know. And you want to apply super thin mist coats, and I'll tell you exactly how you can achieve that, which again, I didn't know. So I applied my top coat. It looked cool, it looked awesome. The pearl finish actually came out quite nice. But then I started noticing things. What the hell is happening? My joints became extremely frail. Some of them just broke when I tried to, you know, and the coating wasn't that thin. Tried to move them, it broke. Tried to move it, it broke again. Okay, I can glue it once, twice, but Jesus, how many times can you glue it? I do have modeling glue, there you go. I recommend you guys look up for modeling glue. Since we're on the subject, you want to use Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. This is an extremely good modeling glue. Just look this one up online. Tamiya Extra Thin Cement, or Mr. Cement S is pretty much the same thing as $2-3, and an extremely very good aerosol based solvent. Okay, so it will bond the plastic together really well. So that's the glue I recommend you guys using, and trust me, if you're really serious about building model kits, you want glue. You don't have to, but you'll want to. Alright, so back to my issue. I applied my top coat, my joints became frail. After reading a little bit online, I understood that the problem was the fact the lacquer-based paint, I was supposed to apply it a whole lot more thinly, a whole lot more carefully, and it's not a good idea to apply lacquer-based paint on joint parts. Okay, usually these are a bit more softer and easier to break. So the way you should apply any spray, any top coat, which I found out a bit later, is to apply extremely thin mist coats, several coats if you need to do that. And the way you do that, I can't really show you a full-on spray, I'm sorry, there's no way I can film on my balcony, but before you use the spray, you need to rattle it, one of these rattle cans. If you apply, like I did, rattle cans, you need to shake it up for about 2 minutes. Listen, 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, not, I'm done. No, that will definitely not work. Another trick you can pull off is put the spray can into a bit of warm water for a couple of minutes. Not hot water, not boiling water, warm water. That way you're gonna get the mist to be even more super fine, which means it will have a much better covering effect. And how do you spray? Well, it's pretty simple. First and foremost, you don't just go directly on your model and start spraying directly on it. That's not how you do. What first you need to understand, you need to keep the spray can about 15 to 20 centimeters, 20 or 25 centimeters, even more away from the subject you're spraying, depending on what kind of, how thin you want the coat to be. And you gently start with brush stroke motions. You don't directly spray it on the model, okay? You want to hit it with the side for the most part, okay? You start spraying, you apply pressure on this thing before you actually hit the subject, and just like lean over, kind of like that, okay? Rocking a boat and all whatnot. Very thin coats. If you need to apply multiple, that's fine, but they need to be very thin mist-like coats. Also careful of the humidity, because you might get a frosting effect, so no humidity. Careful at dust, as well. Yeah, there's a lot of things to be careful at. Dust, because dust can get trapped in the top coat and that will ruin everything. You're gonna have to sand it down and start over again, and it's obviously not fun. And wear a goddamn paint mask. Wear a paint mask. The fumes from lacquer-based paints are extremely harmful and are known to cause cancer. I'm not fucking with you. Use a goddamn mask. Alright. If you're new to Gunpla, you should do what I done with my first kit, which was the MGXE. I'll show you that a little bit later. Stick to paints which are based on acrylic-based paints. Okay, acrylic-based paints, from my point of view at least, don't look as good as lacquer-based paints. However, they are a whole lot safer. However, they come out a whole lot easier and don't look as good. For example, I use this on my MGX. Yeah, this is from Vallejo Acrylic Matte Finish Varnish. Yeah! And you pretty much apply it in the same way. Now, this had a really good spread. It dried up in 5 minutes. It didn't cure in 5 minutes. It cures in about 12 or 24 hours. And it looked great. It looked absolutely fantastic. I did a wonderful job. The problem is when I touched it after like 2 days, listen, 2 days, it simply came off my hands. It wasn't a great. I had to apply another coat. So yeah. In any case, from my point of view, lacquer-based paints also look cool. You can't really get this pearl-like effect with other rattle cans except Tamiya lacquer. So yeah, that's how I applied it. I applied my lacquer-based paint to the model. My joints got frail, brittle, and then I wanted to remove the paint. I used this. This is Paint Stripper, AK Interactive Paint Stripper, AK186. Can you guys see that? Anyway. I did exactly what the instructions said. I leave them, you brush it on, you leave it for a minute and a half to get the paint off, and then you rinse it with cold water, and in case the paint persists, you simply repeat the process again. I did that, and I started noticing that it simply made the plastic a whole lot more brittle. So this catastrophic result, I'm pretty sure, was a combination of me not doing the correct procedure for the lacquer paint, and maybe I did something wrong with this paint remover as well. Just in any case, if you're new to building Gunpla and you want to top coat or paint your kits, don't use the stuff until you get a bit more experience. It was a pretty costly mistake. In all honesty, stick to acrylic-based paints. Now, this was the top coat I used the second time around. This is top coat from Mr. Hobby. It's a semi-gloss side matte finish. Okay, it's an acrylic-based paint and it will not attack the plastic unless you directly on it, okay, and make like a giant blob, then it will attack the plastic. I did notice that my Tamiya panel liner, which I showed you guys in the other video, which is extremely good for panel lining, if you drop like a big blob on a very thin piece, even that will attack the plastic, and that is an acrylic based paint. So you need to be a little bit careful. You need to have a lot of patience when dealing with the stuff. So I destroyed my first kit. I was very sad, I was very angry, I was very pissed. The money, my time, my work, it was practically done. All I needed to varnish. God damn it. I was so angry and so sad at the same time. At myself, at nobody else. So what did I do? I didn't want to give up, so I ordered another one. But this time, I got to thinking, why don't I make a custom? Because I saw a very specific kit. Now, I saw this kit. This is the, well, this is the, what is it called? Oh yes, the Astray Red Frame Kai. This is a very well-known and loved Gunpla model in the, well, Gunpla world for the most part. There are 1,000 variations on the Astray frame. By all means, the Sengoku Astray is a variation on the Astray. And the Red Frame Kai has some really cool weapons. What I wanted out of this kit to put on the Sengoku and make it a bit of a custom, as you see in the images there, are the weapons. If you guys see that. Okay, it's got a huge buster sword which transforms into a backpack, which transforms into a bow and arrow. It comes with a cool red base, and it also has an additional pair of swords and some really cool sword sheaths, which I really wanted for the Sengoku Astray and his whole Japanese samurai-esque feeling to it. So that's what I wanted from this. Also, this guy comes with dry transfer decals. The Sengoku Astray only comes with stickers or marking seals. They're stickers, okay? Let's call them what they are. Now, if you're new to Gunpla, you should know that stickers are by far the worst. So again, stickers are by far the worst possible decaling option for your model kit. They stick out like a sore thumb. It's very, if you don't position them right the first time, then you're pretty much shit out of luck because you gotta unglue them, and then they won't glue as good, and then the part will be dirty from the X glue. Stickers are not ideal, okay? Let me put it to you like that. What you want is dry transfer decals or wet transfer decals. Haven't really played around with wet transfer decals, but dry transfer decals are absolutely amazing. You cut out the little piece you want to. You place it on the model when you want to. You have maybe with a little bit of piece of tape on the side of the material so it stays in position firmly, and you simply rub it in with a toothpick or with your nail or with a coin. It doesn't really matter. After you rub it, you remove it. There are no sides to these decals, okay? You can't see any sides to them. They're like a tattoo, so for all intents and purposes, these are awesome decals. Once again, careful what kind of finish you use over the decals. It may attack them, dissolve them, ruin them, and you will scream for mercy. Yeah. So I got the Sengoku Astray Red Frame because like I said, I wanted the weapons, and the rest of the kit, the actual Gundam itself, I'm gonna use for other custom builds, or I may just build it up as a standalone anyway. Rebuild the whole thing, resanded everything, repanel-lined everything, and I applied decals and stickers from both of the kits, totaling around over 130 decals and stickers were applied to this model kit. After that, I wanted a metallic sheen or a little bit of weathering. Now, I played a little bit with weathering, and this is the first effect I got, and I'll show you exactly how I achieved it. Check this. Oh, hold on, bigger. So this was the first weathering effect I achieved. It's pretty much similar to my MG Exia, which was the first model kit I ever built, and I'm gonna show you a picture of it right now. Okay, these are some fairly simple weathering effects. They're very easy to do, even for a noob, even for somebody who's never done it before. Okay, you can achieve this very simply using these Tamiya weathering master kits. Okay, I got about 4 or 5 of them because all of them come with different colors. This one has burnt blue, burnt red, and oil stains. You can get gunmetal colors for the frame, for example. You can get rust colors as well, so these are extremely good. They come with their own little brush applicator, so you don't need to worry about anything, and they cost around $5, $8, maybe something along those lines per piece. If you get a full set, then you're gonna pay a little bit less per piece. So with these, you simply dry them on. They are pigments, dry pigments. You brush them on, and then you apply your top coat. Okay, so they get locked in. But again, if you lose acrylics, then they might not stick on so well, and some of them came off my hand. That was the case with the Exia there. Anyway, I tried out that weathering technique, and after I tried it on, I realized I did not like it. I did not like it one bit. I wanted a much more clean look to my custom. Let's call it custom. It's a mashup between the Red Frame and the Sengoku Astray. So I removed the entire thing. The good thing about these things, since they are just some pastel colors, okay, they're just simply pastel pigments, you can just wash away everything. So I just put it under water, removed all my hard work, after which I said, you know what, it's good enough. So I took a little bit of these weatherings and I just applied a very small layer to some white parts to make them a little bit more shiny, a little bit more metallic, to the red parts as well. I tried a little bit of silver shading on the shield and on some of the red armor pieces, and it came out quite nicely overall, just a tiny little bit. And of course the final top coat, a single layer of top coat, was the Mr. Hobby top coat semi-glossy matte acrylic based. Didn't attack the panel lines. By the way, Tamiya's lacquer didn't attack their own panel lines either, so it was fine. Didn't attack the weathering I did, the small amount of weathering I did. Didn't attack the decals, didn't attack the stickers, everything was fine. No joints broken, thank God. Though some parts did break during assembly from me just fiddling with them, or from them being stupidly weak as design, in all honesty. I mean, I did break some parts out of faults of myself, and I did. Again, with a modeling glue, you can glue them together. Don't worry about it. If you build model kits, get used to things breaking. It does happen. If you want to detail them out and fiddle with them a lot, if you just want a straight build, which looks like a cheap-ass toy, then that's your business, okay? It's your option. I'm not judging at all. And well, that is how I finished my, my master grade Sengoku Kai, because that's what I'm calling it because of the mashup I did there. I'm happy, very happy with the results I achieved overall. It could have gone better. I made some big mistakes which were very costly, which is why I'm taking this opportunity to tell them to you, in the hope that you guys will not make the same mistake that I did. In all honesty, it was really stupid of me, and I should have been more careful. I should have done a bit more research. Let me show you a couple of more screenshots of the two Gundams together, of my two model kits. Alright, I found some. Here you go. See, these are side by side. Pretty much you can see on the right side you have the Exia, which is completely weathered using Tamiya weathering. And on the left side you have the Sengoku Kai, which is a whole lot more cleaner. That's what I went for, a whole lot more cleaner, more presentable look. And here we go, one more. Here we go, one more. It was a lot of fun building this kit. I'll tell you what, the Sengoku Astray is a much better kit than my Exia was. It has very good it stays very stable. Okay, I have no problem posing it, stabilizing it on its feet. I got the stand now from the Red Frame Kai, but he doesn't really need it. He has no problem in posing, where the MGX, yeah, has really funky ankle joints and overall wasn't as fun of a build, or as good in my opinion, than the Sengoku Kai. I would definitely recommend the Sengoku for anybody. Mostly it's not that complicated to build, in all honesty, and it doesn't prove very problematic. I made it problematic because of my choices, but in all honesty, if you keep to a straight build and some minimal detailing here and there, you should achieve, in all honesty, great results. So overall, I was happy with the kit. Now, let's talk a little bit about my new project. This is done. It's on my shelf. It looks fucking amazing, and I love the results. Now, my next project is this. The next build log will be for this one. Now, this is the Master Grade Freedom 2.0. I am a Gundam Seed fan, in all honesty. My top 3 for Gundam series are 00, Seed, and Build Fighters. Not Build Fighters Strike, give me a break with that. But the original Build Fighters was quite nice, I gotta say. The reason I buy certain model kits is because I like how they look, in all honesty. It doesn't really know. I want to know who they are. I want to know the anime, but the anime doesn't necessarily have to be that great. I just need to like the design of the actual Gundam, and I will definitely pick it up and build it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna build next. For that one, I don't have anything super special planned because I love his default look. I want it to look like in the anime. So what we'll do a straight build, full sanding, full cleaning, panel lines, decals, detailing, and a pearl top coat. I'm going back. I'm not giving up. I'm going back to lacquer based paints because they should be fine as long as you apply them in the right technique. So I'm gonna go back to that. I'm not gonna give up because I love these lacquer based paints. So that's the new project. In other news, I got my Heroes of the Storm figures from Series 3, the last NECA Heroes of the Storm figures. I know you guys love Heroes of the Storm. So here's Rainer. Already unboxed it. Already did a review. The review for this one is up on 101 Figurines. Check my recommended channels. You'll find it there. It's a very good and very cheap figure to have. I definitely recommend this one. And I also got Sylvanas, which I yet to do a review for it, but here's a spoiler alert. It's simply not that good. And I think, well, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. If you guys got any feedback for me, want to let me know something, how much I sucked and I destroyed the Gundam, I know, I'm sorry, or anything else, please let me know in the comment section down below. I do love making these build logs. And if you got any question, how'd you do that, why'd you do that, etc, etc, again, just let me know. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you guys for watching. Like, favorite channel, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. As always, my name has been Leyzar, and I'm off. Bye guys, bye bye.